Welcome, everybody, to Embrace the Weight Strength in Numbers podcast. Tonight, we are going to be going over some World's Ultimate Strongman records. We have with us tonight a couple guests. We're going to start off with an unfamiliar face. My name is Cody. I've been here before, as you know. The unfamiliar face that you haven't seen yet, with his glorious mustache and tank top. Derek, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Everyone, thanks for having me. My name is Derek Baker. Over here, we grew up together in our little town back in Central PA. Been a lifelong athlete. Found weightlifting through football in high school, and fell in love with it, like most people growing up playing sports. From there, I've done everything from powerlifting to amateur strongman to I'm now currently trying to look at bodybuilding. Kind of fall in love with the sport of weightlifting as a whole, and keeps me motivated. And
All right, then. Justin, you want to say hi to everyone?
Welcome to we're on episode 8, and we're just gonna be going over the records, a couple new ones that have been posted, and a lot of the stuff that's been going on Instagram. It's been great since the last podcast. We had nearly every strongman, professional in the ultra heavyweight division, chime in on how they view these records and the events coming up. So should be a good conversation. So you guys saw Big Z's take, right? Since he's actually now going to be the head officiate for World's Ultimate Strongman, it looked like.
I have not seen any updates. I have not watched the updated thing from Big Z. Has he done an updated thing? Because I didn't see that.
No, his one from we did from his office. I think it was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, whenever he said that he agreed with essentially with Brian Shaw that there needs to be a governing body for world records, and that these records can't. That Eddie Hall's record is essentially all the records that they're breaking are going to stand. Via his point of view, how he worded it, the records should stand because they're not done in competition.
So these are going to be, in his mind, which Big Z sort of the law on this is they're going to be records, but in a new way of doing records. So there's going to always be the competition records, and that have been set, and then there's going to now be a lot more of these independent gym records. And from how it sounded, that his opinion is they're going to move forward even more and more of these between events. Then I'm kind of I kind of like the compromise because I really didn't feel comfortable with this replacing Eddie's, but viewing it as its own separate platform, especially with that kind of makes sense. He also, yeah, I mean, who better? Big Z, what, 4 World's Strongest Man's, 8 Arnold's.
Yeah, one of the truly strongest men in history. Going, hey, these are all going to be different records. That's the only way they're accepted. From the beginning, I was kind of already on that realm, and I feel like that's something we've discussed in the past. Is they're records because the weight they're moving is incredible numbers. We're looking at 501 kilograms, and now Thor, which we're going to get into in a minute and in a little bit, is talking about stupid big numbers. But as long as they're they can't be the same because they're not in competition. And again, they have to they have to achieve the records anyway. But
especially if you look at rogue record breakers, we were heading this direction anyways. This was just the big final step, which it kind of makes me want to reevaluate some of the rogue record breakers, because some of those where they had one person competing kind of by themselves on their own time frame, I feel like fit more in this World's Ultimate Strongman categories and not necessarily should replace the competition records that they were beating at the record breakers. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because if you look at our Discord, it's now split 19-18 between Eddie and Thor. So,
is it really?
Yep. we have nearly a perfect 50-50 split on how this plays out. So I feel like there's going to be a little more like weighing in because I feel like Robert really a couple strongmen, like, Robert Bryant don't want to acknowledge this stuff at all. Where Big Z more middle ground, and a couple others I've heard are more middle ground. And yeah, but how about the 5'10", 5'20"?
Yeah, and actually, I wanted Derek. You how much do you follow strongman as a whole?
Honestly, I'm pretty loose with it the past few months. I haven't really stayed up the knowledge isn't as hardcore as your guys' is right now, but I'm still a fan. I still recognize the names and what they're doing, and I try to follow breaking as much as I can. And Thor earlier today, I made sure to brush up a little bit and check. I and a Thor, World's Strongest Man was like a hobby of mine to this stuff, and Thor's probably my favorite out of every. I don't think there's anything he can't do. I think if he says he's going to lift something, it's coming up. Feel about it. The
Like
guy's a
Thor,
genetic freak.
he's got the deadlift. I feel like pressing though, like it's when it comes to like static like deadlift squat, I feel like anyone's gonna be hard pressed to beat Thor, but you pretty much have to take it off in the pressing. Because if it's a full body from floor squat style movement, it's hard to take Thor. But
I agree.
looking at some of the stronger people in our Discord, like Ginger Beast Rample, he's kind of has it like a 50-50 if Thor pulls 501. And I've heard you like Brian talk about other people who are kind of like 50-50 on if he pulls 501. So him then saying he'll pull 510 and then 520.
530. I just want to appreciate. This is one of the things, and it's what I said I wanted to get into here. It's Thor's marketing is incredible for this. What he is doing is fantastic. He's like 200K Twitch followers. I'll put 520 on the bar.
I
You
don't think he's
know,
gonna do it. Like I don't even think he's gonna attempt 520. I think he's 100% just doing it to cash in on the thing. He's kind of enjoying the attention and everything. I don't know, but I don't see him even going for 520 because he's gonna do a warm up lift probably around 470, 475, right?
which will
Then
fly off the ground.
he's gonna hit like a high fours, like a 490. And then he's gonna go for 501. So we're talking 3 super heavy deadlifts in, right?
Yeah.
And the fourth deadlift would be 510. There's no way he's going to then attempt a fifth deadlift at 520. And he's not going to skip 510 and go. He's not going to go 501, 520. Because and I just don't. I think he's just talking out his ass at this point a little bit, with no intentions of following up.
Well, that's what's going to be interesting, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's being talked about. People are talking about this. One that I've noticed that I followed his stuff for a minute now. Is Nick Strength and Power. He's been talking about strongman a lot.
Exclusively for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And he was almost pure bodybuilding and powerlifting. So
Phil Heath and Kai Green, are they coming back? That's literally what his channel was for about 2.5 years. I enjoy what the guy does, respect it, but I was like I'm like, it's if I want to know what's going on in bodybuilding, I'll check him out. But the reality is now he's been talking about strongman like crazy. You got Robert Ober's now pumping out content talking about this. This is huge.
It's brought a lot more eyes to strongman. So it's only good for the sport as a whole. It's just growing pains, but yeah, we're what 5 days away, 6 days away, not too far from the pull.
Yeah.
We are like 6 days away from him pulling. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna get 501. I honestly don't think he's gonna pull 510.
I go. What do you think, Derek? You think Thor can pull 510 kilograms?
I said earlier, I think if he talks about it, I think they could do it. I think 520 is definitely far fetched. I think that is a huge stretch. That might be too much. I think 510 is in the realm of possibility. Do what he opens with, like that, because like you were saying earlier, man, like if you start 5, which could be dangerous, but I think you could get 510.
4 lifts in, it's going to be rough.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's gonna be pretty. Like there's gonna be some grinding.
Yeah, I got to see what his 501 looks like because I don't think it's going to be as easy as everyone else is acting like it's going to be. You don't, because let's go back to repping the record thing. You don't rep a record, right? So
apparently not. Mateusz
501
Kieloskowski didn't do that for
is the
him.
record. 510 would be doing repping the record plus adding weight. The only way he does 510 is if he doesn't do 501. Yeah, and he's not going to not do 501. So I don't see him doing 510. Definitely don't see him doing 520. He would need to do like a 480 opener and then something like a 490, 495, and then do the 510. And I just don't see it. Like I would almost be willing to put I think he's going to get 501, and then I think maybe in the next competition, maybe another one of these events, he will do a 510 run, but that's asking a lot right now.
I think Thor is definitely going to pull the 501. I'm not one of those people that's like Thor can't pull 501. I do not agree with Mark on that. I think Thor can absolutely pull 501 kilograms. 510 I think is I'm going to agree with Derek there, is in the realm of possibility. It's still going to be hard, but I think if he pulls 501, and the big thing is going to be, and if you've seen Eddie Hall's 500, which we probably all have seen the 500 kilogram deadlift. I mean, well, now we all like lifting heavy stuff, so I'm sure we've seen it. That the amount of pressure that put on his body is insane. So to think that Thor pulls 501, and we've seen Thor try to pull 500 kilograms on the elephant bar deadlift. So that's a lot of pressure, and that bar whips to even almost to Thor's knees before you actually have the weight. So, I mean, that thing.
Deadlift bar with this kind of weight is going to bend like an elephant bar.
You think a deadlift bar is going to bend like that?
Well, I'm like, look how much Eddie's bent. Like, we're into like over 500 kilograms. Like, yeah, it's gonna have some more bend than you would normally expect out of a deadlift bar. That's for sure.
Yeah, and deadlift bars are whippy at 225, but we'll see. I'm interested to see. I hope he at least puts the plates on, and if he goes out in a pool of blood, hopefully he doesn't like just clean it up. I'm going for it, guys. Hopefully he's not stupid.
But the thing is,
he's not the brightest.
The fact that this isn't a competition does help him because there's nothing before this, there's nothing after this. There's no traveling, he's not going to be jet lag. There's a lot of things in his favor to pull it, but it's the 4th lift. I would almost say that if he skipped 501, I would be feeling very confident about 510. It's
If he skipped the 501. That's I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm excited. This is fun to look forward to.
Yeah, and it's the other thing going on in strength sports right now too, which is what's kind of exciting because there's been a bunch of strongman contests, canceled and things moved around, so you can't. We haven't really had that for a minute.
Yeah, I was surprised because I thought it being moved would hinder Brian Shaw, but from what he said, that it being moved into November is actually even better for him. So Brian's actually really liking the fact that it's in November. So interesting to see what he pulls out because I feel like he's only got about another 2 years of like really good odds to make something happen. But
Yeah, Brian Shaw going into World's Strongest Man as fresh as he gets to go into World's Strongest Man. And again, there's still a couple questions I have about that. Like, how's the qualifying? Because they changed it this year. We had to qualify for it. How are these guys qualifying for World's Strongest Man? Has anyone seen anything like that?
the World's Strongest
Yeah,
Man
it is
doesn't
something
tell
like
you
that.
anything until like the day they need to tell you.
So we don't even know
They'll
because
know
like
how to qualify the day before they start doing qualifiers. That's how they operate.
Hey guys, I need you to go do this.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to compete in World's Strongest Man, we have a contest tomorrow. What? Yeah,
Half an hour to get to your regional qualifier. Good luck.
Didn't what 2019? They didn't even know the events until like a week beforehand or something.
I thought it was 2018 that happened, but maybe it was 2019.
Yeah, it's under like new management and stuff now for the 2020. I think they did some restructuring and they're treating it a little more seriously this year.
I hope so.
Because if it keeps going like it had the last couple of years, with World Ultimate Strongman coming out, and plus how great the Arnold is, it might stop being the crowning achievement in Strongman. With the Arnold straight on its heels, if they mismanage it for like another 2 years, I feel like everyone's just going to view the Arnold, especially with like who has all the championships right now is just like Brian Shaw. Big Z's out. Brian's on like his last 2 years. Everyone else is newer, and a lot of the like Arnold qualifiers. We'll see how it plays out, but yeah, they need to put on a really good show the next like 2 years to like keep their position on top.
I don't know about that. I think World's Strongest Man is always going to stay at the top because it is the title World's Strongest Man. I think why else do strongman in any realm? Like if you want to compete in strongman, like why do it if you don't want to be considered the strongest of whatever you set your sights on? You know what I mean? Like um for me, Pennsylvania's Strongest Man is something that I was very much like going 2021. I will podium at PA Strongest Man. Period. And just because that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? That's where my goals lie.
But
So
it's also money in broadcasting rates. The World Strongest Man always shows America about 8 to 9 months after the competition. Arnold shows live. World Ultimate Strongman shows live. World Ultimate Strongman also pays like 4 or 5 times better than the Arnold or World Strongest Man. So a lot of the younger up and coming who really need that money, where they do strongman competitions and that's like their income. Uh, they're going to be more focused on the Arnold and more focused on World's Ultimate Strongman because it's going to pay better. Because at the end of the day, you got to pay your bills. And when like one's mismanaged and the prize money is kind of garbage, I hope they fix it all together. I just see the competition brewing for them.
and that's not gonna hurt anything. I don't think World's Strongest Man's gonna be like, it's gonna die off. I think
Oh no, it's not going to die off. But I'm saying like it might lose its throne over the next. It really depends on the top people who they say is the big competition. Because you talk to Big Z, you talk to Brian, World's Strongest Man is the big competition.
well, even like your young guys, Rob Kearney, Martins Lisi's, the only one who young, popular, even Mateusz, those guys, they're young. So you got Rob Kearney, who's young, Martins Lisi's, who's young, Mateusz Kieliskowski, who is very young. They look at World's Strongest Man as like that's the one they want.
Yep.
That's the title they want. And I think these other contests paying more is just good for them because then they can get paid more from those contests and kind of use it as sort of like just this is a training peak because I want to be stronger at World's Strongest Man. So I think that's how they treat these big payout contests because they're like, I need to make money. So I do these contests to make money. And the only purpose of doing these is to be stronger at World's Strongest Man to get that title I just think because even Mateusz Kieloskowski, I was seeing a thing, and he was saying like what his favorite awards were, and it's his World's Strongest Man trophy that is his favorite, and I think he's won some Arnold's, he's won some other ones, but like that one, I think he said that was his
So
favorite.
his biggest competition he's gotten first place in is World Ultimate Strongman. He has podium finished, I think, a third and a second place at Worlds, and I think he has like a second and third at the Arnold. And his World Ultimate Strongman, Thor and Martins were both sitting out. So
Yeah,
I think for him, he just wants to really win one with undisputed, the best people there. And something interesting. So you know how Brian has been just grinding out and pressing and bench press lately? I went back to the Arnold, and I was just curious if Brian took second place to Mateus and the things that Mateus won in the pressing, and then if he would have taken a fourth place in the deadlift, he would have won.
yeah, yeah,
So he doesn't need to beat Thor's deadlift. He just needs to beat Thor in pressing, take second place to Mateus, and then put up like 1,050-pound deadlift, and he can win. The math is there, especially because like if you look at the like his how fast his pressing is growing now, I feel like he's conceded to Thor what Thor is going to win, and now he's trying because before Brian wanted to win like the deadlift, that was his. Like he competed with Eddie, but that was like one of his first place things. I think he's trying to move more into like pressing and stuff and see if he can get those points back in other areas.
yeah,
But
yeah. So, um, Derek, how close? What are you absorbing from this? Because I'm I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here and say we follow this sport more intensely than a lot of people. So, how do you feel about it? Like, you know who Brian Shaw is. You know who Mateusz Kieloskowski is. You know those top guys, right? What do you
I
think?
know the top dogs. When it comes to deep knowledge, you guys are in a different league than me. Yeah, I gladly admit. But I know dogs, and the, I don't know if I see. I don't know if it's a personal thing, just because I've watched a lot of his videos and how he trains and everything. I don't see anyone beating him. I think he has that drive and motivation, and he has everything's there. He has the height of a Thor Bjornsson, and but he's thick, like Eddie and everyone else. Like you don't see him worrying about his at all. Like the moment he wakes up, he just starts eating and training. Like period. Has
Thor
that
is Thor's in the healthiest condition I think I've seen someone at a peak like that. Because you look at like Brian's competition shape or Big Z or when Eddie pulled his deadlift, uh, there was no one looks as healthy and just overall athletic as Thor looks right now.
No.
he definitely the fact that athletic at that weight is just ungodly to me. It does not make any sense. Like pack when he takes his shirt off, like it's offensive. Like how like how do you look like?
What's he weigh now? 440, 450?
I
Uh, he's over four. Tell you an exact.
I can't remember what he said. I think he's at like 208 right now. 208 kilograms. I think.
That's about what 460. That's
Yeah, that's like 416, 420.
Or was he 210? Whatever. He's pretty heavy right now. He's a big boy. Um,
which
but yeah,
he's been packing it on because it shows me he's very seriously.
Now, if and this is also a really heavy lift, so a minor thing gets at a back. If he doesn't pull the 501, he will never hear the end of it from Eddie Hall.
no.
Oh
He
no,
has to.
Eddie will just start and
I
never
don't
stop.
I don't think anyone's ever had this much on the line for a reputation on a single lift because of how controversial this is. He kind of has to get it. Like it's
I think it's
so.
good for the sport.
Oh yeah. It's
So
gonna be fun. It's gonna be. I'm definitely, if he gets it or doesn't get it, I'm gonna have Eddie's Instagram and Twitter up, like why it's going on. That's just gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's man, Thor not pulling it. I just,
I'm saying like at that weight you could tweak any of the like how many ligaments. You're just a full body movement, right? So if you have any weak link due to anything at that weight, like a 501 isn't a shoe in for anybody because you could have all the muscle strength and you could have something else just slightly go wrong with that much weight. It's like, and there's a hamstring.
yeah.
the
So
smallest twinge is throwing you completely.
yep. So but if anyone could do it, I don't think anyone has ever been in a stronger, healthier, all around better position to pull this kind of weight than Thor is right now. But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And I am
All around health. Yeah.
It is really cheesy though that he's saying 520 for what is it, Twitch followers?
200.
Or Twitch followers. It's just like why the Twitch followers? I feel like that kind of makes it a little bit cheesy. Maybe pull some Instagram or something else, but I don't know. 200,000 people on Twitch. Is he like transitioning into like streaming Call of Duty? Like, what's that about?
You know,
With that.
I think he's just all about building that brand. I think,
But he's jumping markets. Like, if you're getting, all right, so if you're like, hey, I want 500,000 followers on Instagram, or I'll pull this, or half like blank on YouTube, or I'll pull this. That's still in strongman. Twitch is video games. I'm a huge gamer, but like he's trying to build. He's like, all right, if I can get 200,000 people to watch me play Call of Duty, I'll pull 520 kilogram deadlift. And he's building a brand, but in a completely different industry.
Smart. Look at like I'm also like huge into video games. Competitive gaming, period. Like I'm bored, but it is the fastest growing thing. It's a multi-million-dollar industry, and it's only going to get bigger. So, agent or PR guys to say, "Hey, you need to jump in this and make a lot of money."
Is his post strongman career streaming COD, or is it? I don't know. It just seems so weird to me. But
what he's trying to do, but I idea there of trying to jump into that platform to make more money.
and the next one is 5:30, and he'll sell his bathwater. I don't know where this is going.
he said he'll sell his bath. I didn't even hear that.
No, I was just making fun.
I hope you're just making that up.
No, I am, but that's just like Twitch fuckery that you hear going on. It seems like he's kind of diving into there, but yeah, I hope it doesn't shake his focus because he could potentially make one of the most dominant runs and craziest feats of strength we've ever seen as long as he doesn't get too distracted. Because it happened to Brian. Brian got way too distracted the last 2 years.
I hope
he got money for it though, but he didn't get competition wins that he probably could have gotten. Like he can't be shot and tour for like most of the year on a TV show.
I hope that it was because Brian was distracted, but I love Brian Shaw. He is actually he's like the first one I came across years ago that actually pulled me towards strongman because I see this guy who is big and strong, and I'm like, I like whatever he's doing. He's like, to me, I was like, well, I'm big and losing weight's hard, but I'm pretty strong naturally. Maybe this is something I can look into. You know what I mean? Because I'm like,
you grew up on a farm, so you got that farm strength going.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the farm boy, country boy strength. Yeah, that's what we're all about here. But
Yeah.
Armstrong. But yeah, so that he actually put me into it. So I really love Brian Shaw, and I hope it's because he got distracted that is what caused the issue.
Yeah, Also, the thing weird about this, I'm not weird, but this actually kind of hurts Thor because Thor doesn't need to have a stronger deadlift. For the last 2 years, he's been able to pull more than anyone else on stage. So by him focusing this hard on deadlift, and it's kind of taken away from other lifts, that he already had first place. So he's kind of all in on this.
I don't know about that because Thor in 2019 World's Strongest Man, he messed up that he had that Achilles thing that happened to him. What he come in second, third? He came in third with an Achilles thing.
Injured, yeah.
I don't think it's taken away from his other lifts. I think Thor is just so naturally dominant and good at deadlift that the fact that Eddie Hall had a higher deadlift than him just bothered him. Because I don't think Thor is going to be under the same amount of pressure as Eddie Hall was under physically. I'm talking physically. To pull,
no. Eddie was not healthy.
No, and I think Thor's just like, I can pull 501 just doing what I do. I don't need to do all this crazy. I don't think even Thor's going to have to go into that crazy mental space that Eddie always talks about to pull it.
I think deep, but
I don't think he's just going to go up to the bar and yank it off the ground. But yeah, that was easy and put it back down. He still has to. You still are going to have to grind that. Any heavy deadlift, anyone who deadlifts heavy, when you put more weight on the bar than you're used to doing, you grab something from somewhere to get that off the ground, and that's what you have to do. I'm not just saying that, but I think he's just better suited to deadlift.
Through shade Eddie saying he's not going to fall on the floor after pulling it. But that being said, Eddie also didn't hitch. So if Thor wants to do that point, he can't hitch this deadlift.
I agree. I think he needs to
hitch and get the record. That's fine. But I'm saying like the shade he was throwing at Eddie over the last week on Instagram, saying that like Eddie like fell on the ground. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna have to fall on the ground after pulling it. Well, if you're gonna say that, then you can't hitch it either.
See, Eddie not hitching it though. Why does so this is Eddie chose not to hitch it. This is still a strong man.
He's allowed to hitch. He can hitch it and get it. But I'm just saying the recent shade he was throwing at Eddie, saying that like he's gonna pull it easier and cleaner than Eddie, means not just after the lift of not like collapsing, but during the lift. If he's gonna say it's gotta be cleaner, then
If he said the words cleaner, then he absolutely cannot hitch this. Because if he would have said, I'm going to pull it easier than Eddie and not fall to the ground, you still have your hitch. If he says, I'm going to pull it cleaner, easier, and not fall on the ground, you can't hitch it. And
this is the first I'm hearing of him talking about the hitch, like not hitching that.
He didn't say he wasn't going to hitch, but he said he was going to pull it cleaner and easier. Like he was going to make it look easy compared to Eddie.
And he made it look pretty fucking easy, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So the only way to
saw that was like, hey,
yeah. That's the crazy thing about Thor. So when Eddie pulled the 500 like kilogram deadlift, he was in a condition that he was going to die within like a couple of years. Like there's no way he could maintain that for more than like a year or two without his heart exploding. Thor is like at the same strength level that Eddie was, but in a way that he could probably maintain this healthy for like a decade.
Yeah, Thor. The only thing I noticed in that the Q&A that he did with Brian Shaw, which I literally got chills when I seen that. But when he said, he's like, yeah, he said he can tell that he's too heavy right now. Anyone who weighs that much, even though it's Thor and he has the capacity to be that big. He's like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm not sleeping great. He sweats a lot now. He had mentioned. So I mean, this still is taking a toll on his body. It's better than it was on Eddie's. I think Eddie. I don't know how Eddie could breathe standing up whenever he did it. I think Thor definitely looks healthier. But I just, oof. I'm excited about. I've been excited to watch someone pull 501 kilograms. Since Eddie pulled 500, basically, because I mean it was always going to happen. So I was I'm excited, and I'm excited because Thor. I also think Thor's just a genuinely cool dude. Like I genuinely believe that Thor would be kind of a cool person to just meet, you know, and lift with.
So, then after that, the next thing is Luke Stoltman's world record log press. That's going to be interesting to see how they do it.
Yeah, oh yeah, Luke Stallman's log press, and I've heard mixed reviews, mixed things about this. On one hand, Luke was reaching out to people saying, like, hey, I'm not counting this as a world record. On the other hand, Luke's talking and saying, yeah, it's a world record. I
Well,
think
Big C said this counts as a world record, just not a competition record. And competition records are separate than these records, so I guess that's the law. So it is a record. It's just not supplementing Big Z's competition record. But I
Yeah.
wonder if he's going to take advantage, since it is his equipment, his gym. I wonder if he's going to take advantage of rotation. So, like, when you get the log up and you like do your final like roll up on the press, how your
Yeah.
plates are spinning on the side, because you're rotating the log, but your plates are almost staying where they were in space. You're just rotating the log, right? If you don't have plates and you have that weight on the log, then when you're doing the rotation on like your kind of stabilizers, they're having to rotate all that extra weight that you don't have to rotate if it's plates. So I wonder if he's going to take advantage of that and use a lighter log and more plates than a heavier log and less plates.
I think he's going to use his oak, isn't he? He's going to use his oak.
He has like 3.
I see.
He has like 3 wooden logs. He got a recent like a much heavier one, but I don't know if that's the one he'll do the record on, because the
I think
log
he will.
Because the log press is more iffy than anything, because there's so many different logs people use, different like weight,
Yeah.
and you can even get down to how easy the weights spin. Because I feel like when you're a world record and every kilogram matters, then things like rotational energy of like turning the log, when there's a drastic difference between like what's built into log and with plates, can really play a difference there.
Yes, I think just because I'll have to catch back up on Luke on the Staltmans, but Luke's gonna do that big heavy lift. He's gonna do it on his heaviest, biggest log. I'm sure of that. As far as the rotation, I don't know. I don't know how much that rotation.
You have a log at your house, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So try it. Next time you do log, just wedge in some wood or something so the plates can't rotate. And then you'll be able to tell a distinguishable difference that it's harder when the plates don't rotate.
That's interesting because that's very interesting. I'm gonna try that. I've
So
logged my.
I've noticed at our gym we have 2 12-inch logs. One is heavier than the other by like 60 pounds. And when you load up the lighter log with 30 pounds of weight on each side, it's easier to press than the log that is just the weight built into the log. Works for me. And I know Rob was talking about that about a year ago. He was going for, I think it was record breakers, maybe log press, and it was just a log with no plates on it whatsoever, and he couldn't even get it close.
Interesting. I'm actually very interested in that. I'm gonna try that. Derek, do you have any experience doing a log?
And it was on the spot. Like I had no training for it, so like I know basically I have next to zero how to perform that lift.
Okay.
There's no strongman stuff at the gym over the years. So it's just one of those things I just look at and go, ooh, like that looks really hard. But
I feel like it's a lot of technique compared to some other lifts where if you don't have a log and you can't practice a log, you're going to lose to people way weaker than you.
Yeah, I agree with that. The log
Arnold, and it was very.
So you've touched the log, Derek? Sorry, I keep having some activity issues, I think, but
I've touched it, but it's not a regular thing that I have access to those since I've touched one.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully sooner than later, you'll get your hands on a couple logs that you can
The
press.
other thing's interesting about this Stoltman record is there's been a lot of talk about log press world records, like Europe records, but his name hasn't come up in the last couple of years for this. You would have said like Iron BB or like maybe like Robert Oberst is who you'd expect to go for this. So it'd be interesting to see if Luke can do it.
Well, I think he can. I mean, his nickname's the Highland Oak, so I mean that I think holds precedence there. I think there's some wordplay going on.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not amazing. I don't feel as confident about him setting the log press world record as a Thor pulling 501. If we're looking at like Thor's 501, I feel pretty confident. Luke's log, I just don't feel the same way. Like his Tom with the Atlas Stone, no way he doesn't get it.
Oh yeah, no. I think Luke's gonna get his. I think Luke's gonna get the log as well. Um, Tom's that I Tom's gonna keep getting his record. With the stone. Um,
Tom. No one can even challenge Tom on the stone. Like stone over
not
bar.
anymore. Not anymore because the one person who could have challenged him, basically doesn't care about world records anymore. Only cares about getting title number 5. So
He wants to tie. Then I really also it's kind of it's kind of lame that he's going for 601 pounds or sorry 661 pounds because he just did 660 pounds at the Arnold and made it look easy.
who's that?
So at the Arnold, Tom did 660-pound Atlas stone, and he made it look super easy. He's only going up 1 pound,
Oh, I
and
don't know why.
so he's basically doing the same lift he already did at the Arnold. And he did the one at the Arnold so easy, no one would doubt that he could add an extra pound or two. So I'd kind of like to see him maybe do the 661-pound stone as his middle lift, and then try to. Yeah, because he's like, yeah, I could pull. Eddie was interviewing him, and he's like, yeah, I can do 700.
I hope he does. I wish he would.
So I hope they figure out a way to get Tom a 700-pound stone that he can attempt after he just easily crushes 600 or in 61 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has so much cap space above what he's doing, and he's so far past everyone else. Like the Scots, they own the Stones medley right now.
Oh yeah. So I think Tom Stoltman and Derek, if you've not seen the Stoltman brothers, um, I recommend the Stoltman brothers.
Peach right now that I really want to check this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking that up right now just for after this. We can watch that stuff.
Oh yeah, the Stoltman. I love the Stoltmans.
Here, just look it up real quick. Tom record break. I'll send you a thing real quick. Like so. Basically, this is what he did just a couple months ago. Where is it?
Be on Rogue, I believe.
Because he made it so effortless. I'm seeing his 602-pound, but I'm not seeing his one he just did. Oh, there it is. All right. Almost got it. But all right, cool. So here, I'm gonna send it to you guys. This was just done so effortlessly.
Oh, I remember it. I watched it live.
Yeah. So here, so you can see what we're talking about. I'm sending it to him. He doesn't even struggle with that.
Yeah, people. There were some people were saying like, oh, he looked like he had a hard time because he did like a little side thing with it, but people forget he's 6'8", and when you do a stone over bar, you want to be as close to the stone as close to the bar as possible. And
Well,
most I
he
could
went in a little bit sideways, so he had like a bad lineup and still pulled it off. So
that's
it made it harder.
he made it harder on himself because he's so big. I mean, his nickname's the Albatross, and like because of he's just a massive human, and he's. You were
It looked
saying
like
that,
a
like,
world record because he usually you take a second, you take he just walked up there, threw it over the bar, and like, all right, that's cool.
yeah, Tom is a very unique soul. I love Tom.
Yeah. Um, they haven't announced Rhiannon's Atlas Stone record.
Isn't she doing a three?
Have you seen the weight on it? Because I'm on the thing, I don't see the weight, but
I think it's a 300 and some, like 350. Is she doing a 330, 350 stone or something like that? I don't remember what the kilogram is that she's going for, but I'm pretty sure I've seen something about it.
yeah. And then
Gary,
Rob go Rob's going to break his own record. He's trying
see
to.
that one's a weird one for me because I really, really, really wanted to see Rob and Oberst um, kind of fight that one out for the American record. You
Yeah,
know,
because that's all Oberst has been focusing on. That's it. Is like, or at least that's what he's been talking about in his Instagram, Twitter posts, YouTube is and he said that he has tied the record several times in training. Like he's gotten up to Rob's weight and done it in multiple different times in the gym. So he's waiting for the first competition he has a chance to try to take that record back.
yeah, I think.
But
I think he needs to. That I kind of hope that. Although I don't think Oberst will do it, I would love to see Oberst because this isn't happening until June 13th.
everything might be back on by then, and this might be able to be like a record breaker or something. They might be able to get them both in the room because to
Yeah,
see them go at it too.
that
I
would
would.
be great. That's what I just. And if
It might line up good for a qualifier too because Rob has not qualified for the Arnold or Worlds. I don't think. So
right now, I don't know who's all qualified for Worlds other than Martins Lises. I would assume Martins is qualified. Thor, Mateus.
yeah, and then
Gostkowski.
so
I
there's going to
think.
be a couple qualifiers coming up, and a log press is almost always going to be there. So there's a good
Oh
chance
yeah.
that everything might be back on, and they might actually be challenged in either like a World Strongest Man Giants Live qualifier or like an Arnold qualifier.
I hope. I hope because the American log lift. I just part of me wants to see that one be hashed out.
I also kind of think about the world log press record is I think Iron BB is stronger. I think he's a
Oh
better presser. So I kind of
yeah.
feel like he doesn't get to challenge Luke on this record for a while,
But I think
even though
Luke.
I think he's stronger right now.
I think Luke knows that too. If I'm being honest.
Because Iron
Um.
BB just he tied Big Z's record and made it look easy.
Yeah, he did, and held it for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. You watch? Did you watch that stone lift, Derek?
On video, trying to figure out where it's at.
Oh, did I timestamp it? It's like 23 minutes in. 20. Yeah, it's 23:30.
Strongman is gaining some traction. What have you looked at the Google analytics for that? Dustin?
Not lately, but yeah, it passed powerlifting during this downtime, which is the first time it's done that outside of the Arnold. So when the Arnold's going on in Ohio, strongman trends higher than powerlifting, but just for like that 1 week of the year. But since the quarantine started, it's actually been trending above it, and it was about half of like what people were searching on bodybuilding. So yeah, it's definitely starting to take its market share. Now, will all this hold when the quarantine's over? I doubt it, because people will always probably be more interested in bodybuilding than strongman and powerlifting. But it's cool for right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you watched it, Derek?
I quit. Guys, that's insane. He made that look so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's doing 1 pound more, just one, just the 1 pound.
Like, come on. Like, what's that extra pound doing for you?
Like, I'm pretty sure there's a half a pound of tacky. Like,
Yeah, probably.
so yeah, they should have thrown him a 700-pound stone. I mean, like he could probably do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think you
I
could.
think I'd be interested to see. You know, I don't care. Like, like, get into it.
Yeah. Then Alexis, the one record that I'm just kind of like mad on is Alexei Novikov's record. He's trying to do the giant dumbbell for reps.
I am meh on Alexei Novikov as a whole. I've been very honest about that. He's just one of those ones that I'm just not a huge fan of. So I'm like, eh.
At least everyone can still rag on him for the double elbow sleeves. Because the
Yeah.
rules didn't what the rules didn't explicitly say, or did they say that you can't wear multiple sleeves? It was just everyone's like that was kind of funny. Let me
Yeah.
just get like 40 pounds of tension here.
Yeah. It's just I'm not. He definitely knows the rules. He's one of those guys who knows the rule.
He Belichick's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That bounce. Oh my God.
The letter of the rules, not the spirit of the rules.
Do you Derek, that one.
So basically there's nowhere that said you couldn't drop the Atlas stone, have it bounce, and then catch it mid bounce, and then like rep it again. Uh, because no one ever thought to put that in the rules. And so he's like tried to use that loophole to win one year, and it immediately the next year it was in the rules that you can't just bounce your Atlas stone like a basketball.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, dude, wait. Just
And
I'm going.
in some way he does make it fun, but half the rules in strongman right now are written explicitly for him.
Of course, that's not in the rule book because no, like that shouldn't have to be in the rule book.
It is. Uh,
And then two people after him like, "Hey, that looks like a pretty good idea."
Derek, you gotta. I timestamped it. It's starting right at whenever he is coming up to the. You've got to see it. I sent it to you. It is. It is in my opinion the most magnificent
Alexei
thing I've ever
Novikov
seen.
thing possible, and the fact that he's doing a record from his home gym with his track record, I don't know. At least it's a record no one cares about.
Yeah, well, that was Belsack who did that. He's the one who does the bounce.
Oh,
Of
Belsack does the bounce.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Novikov who did the bounce.
No, I mean it's a very Novikov thing to do, but it's Belsack, and and I love Belsack, but oh my God, that I am
Yeah, didn't stick. What where is it at?
in Discord. I shipped to you
Like
privately
what
in
minute?
Discord. As soon as you click the video, it should start at a minute 20. Minute 25 is whenever I think. Minute 20. I thought I shared it with the proper time. Maybe I didn't. But that's such a good idea because Atlas just so happened to be something that I hold very dear to my heart because I have a nemesis. is an 18-inch Atlas stone. That there's no logical reason that I couldn't pick it up that day. So anyway,
Yeah.
do you see it? That
Yeah.
that means he saw it. So you've seen it now. I think it's genius because I've put my hands around Atlas stones, and I know how much easier it would be, how much easier they are when they're in your lap. So once they're here, from lap to shoulder, it's very easy.
I want to rip those stupid wrist wraps right off of him right now. Slap them. Like, so dumb.
It explicitly said in the rules you can't dribble an Atlas stone like a basketball. And what was funny was I think this is one of the competitions where so in strongman, because the weights are getting so heavy, they're constantly breaking the stage at venues. So there's, I guess in that one they put down like 3 layers of rubber to protect this wherever they were competing at, because apparently the previous year they busted it. So they're like, wow, this is super bouncy. Let's do it. And they're just like, doing.
Dude is
Boing.
definitely being a Belichick right now.
Oh, thrown in a football reference. Love it. Oh yeah, that was fantastic. That was one of my. I forget who showed us that initially.
Yeah, I think someone posted it in our Discord or something, and it was just like that was like the best thing ever.
It
The dribble.
was.
Yes.
It was. I can't wait till I have my 300 pound stone made, and I'm gonna just do that all the time. Just practice dribbling it, catching it.
Yeah, the one I'm kind of like Luke's log press record is going to be interesting because it's the one that I'm the least confident in of all these record breakers coming up. So that's gonna be. I watched his training videos and they weren't even kind of close to the weight, and it looked like he was struggling. So if he gets this, he's gonna have to grind it out, and it's gonna be a hell of a thing to watch.
Yeah, I want him to get it, and I want him to have this World's Ultimate Strongman live stream record. Just because I think it's still going to be neat to see, and I think this Stoltman. Well, I think Tom. I
think Tom is going to destroy Strongman.
I do too. He doesn't have any glaring weaknesses right now.
No, and if you can look at his brother, who's 10 years older and is relatively unhurt, so you can see
Yeah.
genetically that they can that he can keep it up. So
Yeah.
he's got at least 12 years. He's only 25. So yeah, he's got about 12 years left.
I think we see Tom taking some first place podium finishes.
Because Martins was 28 when he won Worlds. And 3 years before Martins won Worlds, he did not look as good as Tom looks right now. Tom looks way better at 25 than I've seen anyone look at 25.
Mateusz Kieliszkowski.
He didn't look this good at 25, did he?
I think, yeah, because I think he's 24 now. I think he's 24, 25 now. It's gonna be my thoughts on the future of strongman is Tom Stoltman, Mateusz Kieliszkowski, and I think unless Mateusz brings his deadlift up now, I always find it necessary to mention. We say his deadlift is his weakest because he can only do what, like 430 kilogram deadlift once in a while.
26. So yes, at 25 would have been last year. Honestly, him and Tom look a lot alike. Like, and dominance at like such a young age.
Minus what's Tom's weakness?
Not like He doesn't have any glaring weaknesses like Mateus is, but the thing about Mateus is he has glaring weaknesses, but
One
his
glaring
strengths.
weakness.
Oh, I mean, you can turn that
One.
into a whole vein of events.
Yeah.
Static lifting from like when no one has to move, and he's doing like a full body lift. He kind of doesn't traditionally do that well compared to everyone else. But if it's moving, he's doing great. If it's pressing above his head, he's crushing everybody. Except
Yeah.
on the log, weird enough. Like if it's stones or dumbbells, he destroys everyone. If it's log, he places middle of the pack. But
Yeah.
middle of the pack in the top 10 strongest people of the world. Like in context here, like
Yeah.
his deadlift is not that great. It's 8th place in the top 10 strongest people on the planet.
Yeah, the
But
10 strongest humans in the world are he's the 8.
there's a
In deadlift.
there's dead grading on a curve there. Like when I'm criticizing him, it's every lift he has is in the top 10 strongest like on the planet. But
Yeah. Well, his I don't put his deadlift there because you got people like Jerry Pritchett. Did Jerry Pritchett make the finals last year?
JF Carone, Brian
Yeah, Corone made
Shaw,
it. Yeah, they made the finals.
Thor, um, Luke and Tom don't beat him on deadlift. They're about the same, aren't they?
Tom is a better deadlifter than Luke, and
I don't know if Tom beats Mateus in deadlift right now.
yes, he does. Yeah, he does.
He does?
Oh
So
yeah. Oh
Tom,
yeah. Tom's an amazing deadlifter.
who else am I missing? Because I'm only pulling up about 6 or 7 names.
Alexei Novikov.
Alexei Novikov, easy, yeah. So you might be able to pull a list of 10 people, but
I think if I put an hour into it, I can find I can Rano Heidla. Rano Heidla.
Yep. I think that puts you at 9. So yeah, so he
He's still like top 15, easily top 15 deadlifter in the world, I would say.
After this whole thing, I want to see Thor just take the powerlifting world record.
The total.
He doesn't even need a good bench for it. His squat, a squat that he's already done on record on video with the deadlift he's trying to do, means he doesn't even have to lift within like 40 kilograms of the bench press to beat the total powerlifting record.
Well, yeah, it'd be how he pulled on the day. Plus, he's allowed straps. Well, if he does geared, if he would do the geared total is
Geared is still no straps though, isn't it?
I don't. Derek, is the geared world record total? You're allowed straps with that, or don't we know?
I don't believe straps are allowed.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
you
check
have
it
to.
out.
You get a deadlift suit, but I don't think you get straps.
I don't think you can wear straps.
But yeah, Thor squats also equally insane,
Oh yeah,
and he doesn't need straps for squat.
No, you don't need straps to squat
But
or to bench. He's. Wouldn't it be funny to see Thor stuff his body into one of those bench shirts? Could you imagine? His, they would. I don't even know if someone would make it for him. Yeah. It would be just massive. You wouldn't even be able to be like,
But they'd have it done for him.
oh yeah. I don't know. And then you also got to look at straps. How much can Thor pull without straps? With that alternate grip, which I hate that grip.
you can probably hook grip it. He has massive hands. There's no way he doesn't hook grip it.
Yeah, but hook grip's its own special technique, isn't it?
He probably knows it though, because does he doesn't strap every deadlift, and so I'm pretty sure when he's not strapped, he's hooking it. I don't know. I can probably check real quick. Because
Eric, have you ever used the hook grip where you do your thumb?
I hate it. I can't.
You have to actually kill the nerves in your thumb in that area from doing it consistently enough before it stops hurting. Like other people have like Dr. Deadlift did, like he was talking about, and he's like, yeah, you just do it long enough and then like that part of your thumb just goes numb and it doesn't hurt anymore.
Coaches, when I was in college, tried to get me to, but just kept preaching so uncomfortable. It hurts. Like I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I know you say you like it. I would do alternate grip, and that's what I've stuck
alternate
to.
grip is it's so much easier to pull a bicep on alternate grip than hook grip.
I'm just uncomfortable with that alternate grip. It just feels weird for me. Like I've pulled. What did I pull with that? I think I pulled 495 alternate grip once. But then I essentially just worked my grip enough so I can do 500 double overhand, and that's how if I'm going strapless, I'll just pull 500 double overhand, and then I'm done because it's more.
I mean, once
really...
I get up there, I have to switch to alternate.
So I was just watching Thor's training footage, and he straps up at like 215 or 225.
Oh, Thor wears straps from the beginning to the end. He actually went in detail about that because he says he sets up the same way every time. Like he rolls the bar into him. He treats every deadlift like it's his top, like it's his heaviest.
So he may not actually do. I was just thinking on the lower weights he'd hook it and then use straps, but no, even down to like 225, he's using straps, and at that point just double overhand like anything less than that because it's not even going to affect a grip like Thor's.
No, I don't think. Yeah, he just doesn't train deadlift. He doesn't work his grip with his deadlift because in his mind, and I've actually adopted that mentality a bit. I still use grip for some of it just because I'm not a professional athlete, but he in his mind he can use straps in all of his contests that he cares about. So why not use them?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Which is my argument. Which is my argument against you know. I think I've said this to you, Justin, because you want to train, you want to get that 500 double overhand. Why not use the stuff that you're allowed to use, man? That's just, man. in my strap. What's that?
That it's okay, then benefit from what's in your favor.
That's how I feel. And I get one to have that nice strong grip too. And I've always, I train it. I train the grip for just to have a good grip, because it's so important for so many other lifts. And I do train it, but man, straps immediately add just stupid amounts of weight.
See, that's gonna be exciting. So I've been training like a year and a half. It's probably gonna be like probably around 2.5 years before I use straps when I hit the double overhand 500. In which case I'm gonna just slap on straps and then it's just gonna just go right up. It's gonna be fun because
I think it's admirable what you're doing, Justin. I do think it's admirable, and I believe I've said that more than once to you. But at the end of the day, you're still if you work it, your body can then pull more weight even with those straps. I mean, straps are just they blew my mind. The first time I ever deadlifted more than with like 315 or 225 was I pulled 435. And I pulled it twice, double overhand, no straps. I put straps on. I pulled it for 3 sets of 5. It was just that big of a difference. To me, it was that big of a difference. Just having it's just, man, I love straps. I put them on, like, if I have to work up to, like, what's that, Derek?
Like it's so much easier heavy weights. I mean, I don't do this anymore, but when I was doing powerlifting heavy, I would do it even for lat pull downs and stuff for back day. I would just use the straps and not worry about my grip and just pure concentration on my back. And I started pulling the entire stack like immediately. Oh my God, like I'm so strong now.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. It was just an arbitrary goal I picked when I started, so I just figured I'll hit it, and then because also I'm more into like casual competition in local area. I just enjoy the community, the content. So like I'm not trying to necessarily win my state. So if I was more serious, like I want to win my state, I would definitely be training exactly how I would compete. But
I am very honest in wanting to win the state, and I probably won't win it in 2021. I won't have any excuses though because I'll have all the equipment. But I 2022, 2023. I mean, there's no reason I can't take Pennsylvania's strongest man.
What's your angle on that? Just to
think
get
that's great.
to make a
What's
qualifier, or yeah, sure. If you might be able to make it to like a qualifier if you can actually win your state.
for
Something
amateur?
big.
Yeah, hey, yeah, I want to do. I want to win. I want to win the state, and then I want to compete at nationals because honestly, I want to compete against my coach in the worst kind of way. I want to compete against him so bad. I've
You
told
want to
him that.
compete against Nathan at nationals?
I do. I want to compete against him. In fact, that contest that I was going to be down in Philly for last weekend, it was meant to happen. If I would have came in third, I would have qualified for nationals, my first comp. And the weights, that one pisses me off because the weights that the only thing that killed me was the stone. And if honestly, if that contest would if that was going to still happen, I would have been training stones once a week um up until that contest. And with how with my progressions go, I would have done well in that stone as well. So I think I I think I had a chance to come in, if not podium, depending on who showed up. Really, I had a chance to probably take top 5 in that comp, an easy top 5. So that was that one really hurts. The only comp that I think I'm going to be able to compete in is the one in August, which was initially going to be my first comp, but then I started hitting these numbers and looking at different comps around.
What's your weight right now?
Weight right now is 305.
So you're
Probably.
decently into super heavyweight. It's not like you could cut 25 pounds and make it down to like one weight class below.
I think with my numbers, I don't know that I would need to. That's probably cocky, but
Well, it's just a difference between like a 725-pound deadlift being really good to like an 850-pound deadlift.
well, yeah. Yeah, but
It's
those,
100. So the 25 pounds body weight is 125 pounds on the bar.
I think, oh, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm planning on staying super heavyweight. I would like to get down to like 290 to 285, 290. I think would be a good weight. And
Yeah.
I think I would be fairly strong at that weight still. I don't think I would actually lose any strength at that weight. I think I would just look better and feel better probably.
That's where Rob competes at. It's like that 275, 280 pound weight is his sweet spot, and he's took what tied for 6 at the Arnold.
Yeah.
Just missed Worlds, so it can be done.
It can be done. And I've been steadfast in that. There's a certain line where I know I can get to. I want to get there, and then after that, I can't really go beyond it. I can't go beyond a certain line without doing something I don't want to do. So that's just the reality. So I'll take that line as far as I can, and wherever that takes me, if it lands me a podium at nationals, I'll call that a win, in my opinion. And if I can beat some other really strong guys, I'll call that a win. To me, that'll be a win. So
Brian Asry, he was big on that.
big on,
The same thing. He's like, I was just gonna push it as far as I can push it.
yeah. Until there's that one line you don't want to cross, and then that's as far as you can go with it, and you accept it, and you're like, I went this far this way, I'm good. So that's odd, but and I think I still have I think I can push that line pretty far, honestly. So
Most people can't. Like 500 is like the big mark on deadlift where it gets really hard to stay natural and get past that.
I don't think it is at all.
So like you blew past it at 600, but for a lot of people, that's the line for them. And then you're just like, I'll just wait, just have that line in your rearview mirror on your way to 700 pounds.
Yeah. The one guy when he seen me pull that 600 and seen how I ripped it off the ground, he's a very knowledgeable guy. It was Nom. So he knows his stuff. Derek, you know who he is. He looked at me, pulled that. He said, "You're a 700 puller right now." He's like, "You can pull 700 pounds." I was like, "That's awesome." I need to get my squat. My squat right now, my squat and my Atlas stone are my two weakest, and I need to figure out how to get past that. My
Yeah,
squat.
don't you have them at home now?
Yeah, I have one right now. I'm actually probably this week going to be building or to be making a few more for myself. And then I'm actually hopefully well, not hopefully, it's going to happen. I'm going to make some for the gym as well, but I need to get some of my mistakes I made with my first stone need to get worked out before I take them to the gym, before I make the stones for the gym. And then once I have everything figured out and the gym gets then I start doing nothing but gym stones. Because once I have really the stones I'm making here this week is more than enough for me right now. Um, but yeah, Atlas stones is something that I'm definitely going to be heavily training because they're weak. My Atlas stone that was pathetic. I it was a two that 220-pound Atlas stone went to shoulder for reps, and the 250 couldn't even get it in my lap. So that was just unacceptable to me. So I'm not going to not going to tolerate that. I need to be doing a 300+ pound stone to shoulder. So, and I need to be able to one motion that 250. That's just the realities of it. There's no reason I shouldn't. With 600-pound deadlift, I should be able to rip that 250 off the ground. So,
Like movements like that, though, a lot of it is. You said you can rip 6 pounds off with a bar, and you've done 1,000 times, but that's a completely different feel.
oh yeah,
So, the ball game, man. That's like a football player saying, like, you know what, I'm gonna go play baseball. Like, you're still an athlete, you're better than your average person probably, but you're not just gonna go do that. Like figure it out.
yeah.
I guess just to recap. So does Thor get 5'10"? Does he attempt 5'20"? I'm gonna say he doesn't get 5'10", and that he doesn't even attempt 5'20".
Derek, you go ahead.
It's not going to be an easy 5'10". I think he grinds it out. I think he hitches, and I think he calls it at that.
Okay, I think he definitely goes. I think he definitely gets 501. I think as long as he doesn't pass out from 501, I think he at least puts 510 on the bar, and maybe goes and maybe I think he maybe tries 510 after he pulls 501, but I think it's more likely he won't go for it because I think once he pulls the 501, he's done. Is what I think. I think that's what happens. But Thor
I'll
does
come
like to.
back because he needs to. Personally, he needs to take Eddie's record. So he's going to come back in competition, and I think he's going to want to hit it at 5'10". So I think we
Yeah.
will see him pull 5'10" at the Arnold or Worlds, but not in a week.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I
If it
think that's
doesn't
fair.
happen now, it will happen in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. What else do we need to recap? Okay. We're gonna do rapid fire here. Okay. We go Justin and then Derek, then myself. Luke Stoltman log lift. Does he get it? Yes or no?
Yeah. He grinds it out, just doesn't quite lock out. He loses it in like the last little bit. He does a good press off the shoulders and just can't quite get it locked out.
All right. Derek, what do you think? Yes or no, Luke Stoltman?
I don't have a highly educated opinion on the man yet, but from what I've seen, you go opposite of him.
You say he gets it. All right. I agree
I'm going to
with.
be an optimist.
I think Luke Stoltman gets the record for that. I do think he does it. I think it's not going to look pretty, but I think he gets it. Tom Stoltman, Stone. Justin?
He's already gotten in.
Okay. Eric?
Counts.
Is that a yes? I couldn't hear. Sorry. So I think Tom Stoltman absolutely gets it. Alexei Novikov, dumbbell for reps. Justin?
I don't even like it's for reps, and he's picking a weight, so he probably gets it because you can pick a weight that you can go up or down 10 pounds and find one that someone hasn't done that particular amount of reps with before. So, in seeing what he's done with the elbow sleeves, I think he's going to pick the perfect weight and the perfect reps, and there's no way he's not going to do it.
Okay. Derek?
Yeah, that's going to be easy. Just for all the reasons that you listed, he's going to be able to do it.
I agree. He's going to do it because he gets the biggest weight. Rihanna Lovelace. Justin, go.
Rhiannon, she's done everything that's ever been impossible that like for pulling numbers in her weight class that she's attempted. She so far at this point she just seems unstoppable. So I don't think anything's gonna stop her from pulling it, from getting the zone.
All right, Derek.
And I think she's just. I think she's going to have that adrenaline going the whole time, and I think she's going to be fine.
I agree. I think I don't know that I question her not doing it. I think she does it. She is an incredible athlete, and I love watching her perform these records. I think she's incredible. Rob Kearney, American Log Lift. Go.
I don't think he's going to do the lift. What I mean by that is I think by June 13th, this stuff's going to be worked out and it's going to be back to competitions like normal. So I think his lift is just going to time out, and then he's going to do the record at like an Arnold or World Strongest Man qualifier if log press is on the menu. And if there isn't a max weight log, then he just won't do it. I just think that one's too far out. Like what, 2 months?
Yeah. So, okay, let's
If he were to attempt it, he would get it because he's breaking his own record and he's just going up a little bit. But I don't think the lifts is going to happen this way.
Okay. Derek, your thoughts?
Your own record right now, and with the possibility of being below over, I think, but we'll see.
I kind of feel that way too. I hope this is blown over by then. But I think if he goes for it, he'll get it. I don't have doubt in my mind that he won't get the American record. It's beating his own record by a handful. So I think he will get it if he goes for it.
If Oberst does not have a chance to up the American record or to attempt the American record, he gets it. If this is if it's at a competition with Oberst there, I do not know between the two of them who walks away with the American log press record.
I think it would be wonderful, and I think they would push each other. I think we would get a new American record.
Yep. I don't know who would be the final one who would be standing on the platform.
I don't know either because I know Oberst wants that back bad. So.
Yep.
Eric, thoughts?
Shoulder. I think Oberst has the chip on his shoulder for sure.
All right. I believe we've covered them all, and we even made sure we went back and made sure we hit them all and got everyone's opinion on the. So I think we're good.
Yep.
And I don't think we have anything in closing. Yeah, I think
next podcast will be the post Thor pulling, or we might just next one will be after Thor pulls the deadlift, right?
Yeah, or doesn't pull it. Oh.
So that will be a fun one because it'll be the day after. So it'll be May 3rd, and he pulls on May 2nd. So it'll be fun watching that live with everyone in the Discord and then talking about it afterwards. But can't wait for that. So I guess on that note, we will just wrap it up. And then we'll reconvene next week after the big event happens.
All right, sounds good to me. And we'll catch you all later. All right.
Me guys, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.